Three, two, one. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Nine Hole Podcast with David and Ian. David, what is going on, brother?
Super Bowl Sunday yesterday, man. It's Monday, trying to get back in the swing of things. Kind of like always, we hit on these things either midweek or on the weekends, and then I'm just trying to adjust to news and happenings and life and family and
Mm,
everything.
I love it, dude. I got a little bit of a different setup here today. I'm over at the in-laws. As you can tell, there's a whole bunch of wires. I'm just covered in wires over here
Do you
with my...
like those wires?
These wires are bothering me. They're bothering me big time, but we'll push through it. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Not so much on the baseball front. So the Super Bowl is done. That makes way for literally every other sport.
Mm-hmm.
So first and foremost, got to hit on the Super Bowl. Uh, Dude, your Chiefs won it. Kansas City Chiefs won it, man. Absolute. Maybe I'll ask you a little bit about. Do you think they're in the dynasty conversation?
They
Are
have
they,
to be.
are they in a dynasty conversation right now? And did you catch what happened at the end last night in overtime? With just everything that kind of went on.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, they're not my Chiefs.
They're not your
Um,
Chiefs. Sorry, I'm lumping you in there
no,
with
you're
them. I
good.
know we
Like
talked about it last time.
people, I mean, I know that team probably better than really any team in the NFL except for the Saints, I guess, because I like the Saints. But they're a passionate team. I mean, they're like America's team right now. The last 5 years for sure. I mean, everyone's a Chiefs fan out of nowhere, and now with this Taylor Swift stuff and Kelsey, people that don't even watch football were. I mean, there were shirts that said Taylor's boyfriend here for Taylor's boyfriend or something, or go Taylor's boyfriend. I don't know.
It's
It's
crazy.
insane. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
crazy.
it's there's no such thing as bad press, but I don't know. We talked about this, but they whine a lot. They complain a lot. They get a lot of calls. I love Christian McCaffrey. Like, if I was a
Yes.
young football player looking to aspire to be someone or look up to someone, you talk about Kelsey here a little bit, like he stayed out of some of the spotlight and scrutiny and stuff. When
Yeah.
do you ever see anything bad about Christian McCaffrey?
Never.
Kittle, I think is hilarious. I think he's funny. Brock Purdy, I think is like a true testament of what a quarterback should be. I mean, he has like a roommate living in an apartment in one of the most expensive cities, and he's just like he glorifies God and everything he does. Like it's just, I like the 49ers.
Yeah.
Ayuk and Debo. I didn't like Debo came out with his helmet off. Everyone else had their helmet on when they were introducing the teams. I thought that was kind of like, look at me. I didn't really like that, but
Yeah, dude. So last night there was some bad luck, some bad happenings, maybe some bad planning on the part of the 49ers. I saw first of all somebody blew out their fucking knee on the sideline,
trying to
either
run in.
either jumping around or try to get in. He blew it
Yeah,
out. They had to get a cart. Dude, it stinks. Right off the
yeah.
bat, that stinks. That's a tough omen. Dude, so the 49ers won the overtime coin toss. Not to get too far ahead, Christian McCaffrey, scoring a touchdown is big for the betting world, right? That was big on a lot of fronts. That was a lot of money was placed there.
Yeah.
The game going into overtime was big. I heard kind of like Vegas got the short end of the stick there, right? Like a lot of gamblers won on a lot of
More
bets.
opportunities.
Yeah, covered the spread, dude. I don't
Yeah.
even know what that means, but they covered it for sure.
We can talk
Um,
about that.
so the 49ers won the overtime toss, and they elected to receive. They elected to receive. They kicked a field goal, and then the Chiefs answered with a touchdown, obviously winning the game. So the Niners coach Kyle Shanahan said he and his analytics staff discussed overtime possibilities before the game, but Armstead and fullback Kyle Juszczyk probably messed that
Juszczyk.
up. Juszczyk both said that their overtime strategy was not discussed with the 49ers players leading up to the Super Bowl. So basically, the 49ers could have lost this game, even if it was just a little percentage chance of influence on the outcome. They could have potentially lost a Super Bowl, the biggest game, right, of the year because of this, because of poor planning. So
I'm
Andy
just not
Reid,
prepared.
yeah, dude. So Andy Reid on the other side, I'm a Philly fan, right, coming from Philly. Andy Reid said we've talked about it all year. We talked about it in training camp about how the rules were different in the regular season versus the playoffs. Every week of the playoffs, we talked about the overtime rule. So this guy is preparing week in and week out when it matters. The rules changes, like the rules change. Once you enter postseason play, right? It's not first points win like it is usually in the regular season, right?
No, it's like that all the time. Like if the first team that gets the ball kicks a field goal, the next team can come down if they
It's not sudden
kick a
death
field goal.
though. It's
No,
not.
the first team that scores. Like so, if the 49ers would have marched down there and scored a touchdown instead of a field goal, they would have won.
Gotcha.
There'd be no way to come back from it. But because they kicked a field goal, it gave the Chiefs a chance. And if the Chiefs kicked a field goal, then they would have kept playing. Like
Gotcha.
the first person to really score, like field goals don't really matter.
So the odds, dude. So it just has a little effect on maybe being in control of the outcome. So let's kind of like revert this back to baseball. Let's relate this to baseball. So say what is the home field advantage of being the home field team? Like what is the home field advantage? You get to hit last. So in the top of the first inning, the away team leads off.
Hmm.
They need to set the tone, and the home field advantage, the bottom of the first inning, the home team gets the hit, and answer to whatever the away team sets. Man, that's kind of the starting point. So Jones said that if the Niners had scored a touchdown on their opening overtime possession to take a 7-point lead, the Chiefs were prepared to go for two if they scored on their ensuing possession. So if they opened up with a touchdown, Andy Reid and the 49ers, or Andy
The
Reid
Chiefs,
and
yeah.
the Chiefs had an answer for whatever, they were going to put up there in any situation. And they were preparing for it. They've been preparing for it for a little while. So that kind of puts it into perspective. Dude, I'll be honest with you. That's a tough look for Kyle Shanahan. That's a tough look for the 49ers, dude. That's like, how do you not know what's going on? So obviously this could be just me, throwing shade at them, but the players are coming out and saying that they didn't know what the rules were until they saw it up on the jumbotron. The fullback, I can't, dude,
Use
they're
check.
looking up there and they see the rules. They're like, oh man, I didn't even know what that was. So they didn't prepare for it. The coaching staff, Kyle Shanahan obviously did not prepare the team for it. Didn't talk about it, dude. That's I don't want to say like an abomination, right? That's
Yeah.
insane to say, but dude, what else is it? It's the biggest game of the year. You failed to prepare in the biggest spot in the biggest game of the year. That's tough. Is that something you lose your job over, dude? It would be. You hold your players accountable. You're a leader in that spot. The head coach is a leader. The head coach needs to own the locker room. What happens if the head coach, the manager, I'm comparing it to baseball. What
Yeah.
happens if the manager of a baseball team loses the locker room? You fucking lose the respect of the team. The team stinks. You don't play as one, right? Like, dude, something like this, as little as this, could cost them, a championship, a Super Bowl, dude, a ring. I think it's extremely dumpy. It's extremely dumpy, and people are blowing out their knees on the sideline. Like, dude, it's just a tough all around. Bro, is Shanahan losing his job here? Like, how are they moving forward?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way he loses his job. I think he's one of the best coaches in the NFL. His dad won a Super Bowl with the 49ers as well. Um, they're an elite team. Kyle Juszczyk, that fullback, is the best fullback in football. It sounds like, just a stupid mistake that, I mean, not knowing the rules or whatever. Like, I don't know. I'd love to dive more into that to read more about that because there's no way he didn't know that.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. How do you not prepare like
Yeah.
that? Right? I can, dude, I can. It's way crazier, right? Me saying it as opposed to me doing it. It seems like such a simple mistake, but dude, in the biggest game of the year, to make a minute mistake like that is so gigantic, right? If it has any impact on the outcome, wouldn't the analytics team have just a fucking plan for everything, dude?
Yeah. I mean, once they kicked that field goal, I knew Mahomes would just march
Can't
right down the
stop him.
field and into the end zone. Like he's so good. And if you actually looked at like his numbers last night, I mean, he led the team in like rushing, I think, and he threw for like 6.8 yards, a drop back, like nothing exceptional. But that guy just finds a way. And if you give him opportunities, he's gonna beat you.
For sure.
Like I'm not a huge Chiefs fan. I like them. They're my local team, if you want to say that. But what Mahomes does on a football field is unbelievable.
Yeah,
He is so good at football.
he's so good, dude. I did not want to see them win.
Yeah.
I'm I did not want to see them win, dude.
And the thing with like Andy Reid when Kelsey kind of pushed him, like I know we're probably gonna
Yeah,
get to that, but there's a part of me that's like, what the hell are you doing? And then a part of me is like, hey, he's a super passionate guy, one of the biggest games of his life. Him and Andy Reid are like very as close as you can be to a coach.
yeah.
I mean, him and his brother Jason Kelsey have had him on their podcast, and I
So
mean,
they want to.
they're
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they're boys.
That's right. That's right. It's big
So
time.
I
So
don't,
it's not the
I
first run in.
yeah, I don't. It's a bad look for him if you don't know football, if you don't know sports at a high level.
Yeah,
But to like a guy like guys like me and you that have maybe had the altercations or some exchange some words with teammates in the locker room or what have you. I mean, there's a better place to do it, but he let his emotions get the best of him, and he wears his heart on his sleeve.
dude. So that's something I did want to hit on. Mila, would you stop? My goodness, it's my dog barking at air. Um, so the thing with the Andy Reid and Travis Kelsey, it's a tough look, right? It's a tough look, but like you said, the emotions and everything were just biggest game of the year, dude. I'm gonna throw my dog outside real quick. Be right back.
Okay.
Biggest game of the year. Andy Reid said he liked it, right? Playing with emotion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. Hold that thought. I'm about to throw my dog out. What I miss?
I mean, that could be a good coach just covering his players and not trying to squander. They just won a Super Bowl. Like he's probably like, why are we talking about this shit?
For sure. For
My
sure.
player was
Well,
passionate. He bumped me on the sideline because he wanted the ball, and we just won a Super Bowl. You want to talk to me about that bullshit? Like I think that's
100%.
how I translate what he would be thinking.
Dude, so they both said that they're coming back next year too. So
Yeah,
they're going to be running it back. Kelsey said he wants a three-peat. That'll be big. Obviously, it's a dude that plays with emotion. He's been in the spotlight all year. That's something that we were going to highlight as well. So think about the year that fucking guy's had. Now with uh, Taylor Swift, who's everywhere, who's now doing everything right
he's
for the
everywhere.
NFL, bringing in stupid amounts of money. The Super Bowl ads last night were 7 mil, a cool, easy, breezy 7 mil for 30 seconds. And I think the suite that she had was a couple $1,000,000 too. Dude, she's huge. All the money she's bringing in for the NFL. I saw her talking to the commissioner last night. Um, dude, she's a blessing to have around. It's going to be crazy to see what next year looks like. But yeah, Travis Kelsey has stayed
He's
out
on. Yeah, every
of
other commercial you see him on.
yes. So he's
That dude's setting
big.
himself up. I mean, he's one of the best tight ends in football right now, and maybe one of the best tight ends ever. But that guy knows he can't do this forever. He has made himself a household name. He has made himself a staple in the community. He does a lot of good work for his local community. And now, I mean, that guy's got more endorsements than any athlete I can think of.
Yeah, TV dude, and
Smart.
he's in the news, everything, man. Talking about his haircuts on. There's paparazzi and shit outside of his house now all the time. Like it's
I've
can't
sat right
imagine.
next to him and got a haircut. He was right here. I was getting a haircut, and he was right here
Really?
at a barber shop in Kansas City. And this was like when he was like one of his first or second years in the league. Yeah, it's a sweet barbershop, and now I don't think he go. I think they come to him, but
I'm sure.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure. But for him not to like mess up at all in the spotlight to kind of solidify, I guess, his path moving forward, dude. So he's going to be a staple, obviously, in football, but in the podcast world, in the media world, I'm sure he's going to be around with NFL and ESPN and shit after his days are done,
yeah.
right?
His
Um,
podcast is doing well. He's got these crazy endorsements. I mean, he's from Ohio, right? I mean, he went to University of Cincinnati. He's a Midwest guy. I told you I met him outside of the hotel I was a valet at, right?
I think you said something about that.
Yeah,
What happened?
valeting cars, and he was walking up the street, and there was these like fancy ass apartments in downtown called One Light. A lot of players live there, and I worked at a really cool old hotel in downtown Kansas City, and he was walking across the street. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I was waiting for people to check in, and he was in like a full jumpsuit hoodie. I gotta send you this picture, but he was across the street, and I was like, "Hey, Travis, hey, Travis," and he like, "What?" And he like ran over and like gave me a hug and took a picture with me, and he's like, "I'm just going to go get some food."
That's awesome.
And I was like, "All right, cool," but he was super chill, like appreciated being recognized, I think, and
Okay.
I think he's still that same dude. He can be a little over the top, I think, but
Yeah. Is he set for life with Taylor Swift? Are you surprised they didn't get engaged after the Super Bowl victory?
I'm not surprised. I would have maybe puked a little bit if that happened, but
Uh,
I
it's a
for sure,
long embrace there at the end.
I for
Long
sure think
embrace
he's
there at
trying
the
to
end.
get her pregnant. If he knows what's good for him, he'd be trying to dump babies inside her.
Sneeze up it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. 100%, dude. It's yeah.
She's like a
Weird.
billionaire and times a million. Like
Times a
they
lot.
obviously like each other. She seems sweet too. Like she seems like genuine about all this.
From what I've seen, yeah.
You hate her?
I don't hate her. I don't hate
I'm
her.
a little
I've
I'm a
seen
little
enough.
over it.
I've
Yeah, I'm a
seen
little over
enough.
it.
I don't hate her. I sure have seen enough.
Hey, you see Brittany Mahomes was in Sports Illustrated swimsuit?
No, but I saw Jackson Mahomes got denied from a bar last night or a club trying to get into I guess Brittany Mahomes' suite at some like nightclub in Vegas and the bouncer fucking denied him.
That
Saw
kid's a
that.
loser. That
Yeah,
kid's a loser. Sorry.
he's a little rapey.
Another thing too, like this is off topic here, off script a little bit, but Mahomes' dad, DUI. His brother's an idiot,
Couple of them.
messing up everything. Yeah, but like in the media right now, he's got to put up with all that stuff. His wife's half naked in a Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Like that guy's got a lot going. People hate him. People love him. But he shows up and wins. Like
He's not even 30 yet.
he's 28, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's the only guy to win 3 Super Bowls before the age of 28. And Tom Brady.
It's not bad. It's all
He's
right.
coming for Tom.
Ooh.
Speaking of, sorry, this is. Have you seen how many commercials Tom Brady was in last night?
Yeah, so I saw the Dunkin' Donuts commercial. That was my favorite commercial with
Ben Affleck and
yeah,
Jennifer
yeah.
Aniston
Yes.
and Matt Damon.
Yes. Jason Bourne.
Yeah, and
Jason
Tom
Bourne
Brady's,
was
like,
in there,
doing
dude.
DJ shit.
Yep. That was my
Yeah,
favorite.
I don't know. I didn't think he would be doing all that stuff because he's Tom Brady, but money talks. I bet.
Speaking of money talks, dude.
What do you got?
So bunch of gambling last night. The game going into overtime was big for a lot of sports betting people. DraftKings and Barstool. We talked about DraftKings. What was it? Last week?
Yeah,
Last episode? They just signed a deal, another one with Barstool, whom I thought was in bed with Penn, right? Remember that? Anyway. So DraftKings will become the official sportsbook partner of Barstool. Could be a high reward, low risk.
What does that even mean? Like they just.
Means buy DraftKings, bro.
I know, but like Barstool just goes, "Hey, DraftKings." Speaking of DraftKings, I saw someone. You know how like LeBron James has a lot of controversy around him. People think he's kind of whiny, babies.
Yeah.
This is controversial, but this is regarding DraftKings. But apparently, he sat down for the national anthem last night at the Super Bowl, and then he immediately got up and did some kind of plug marketing thing for DraftKings. And a lot of people, like a lot of young,
Shut up!
a lot of young kids are getting like
Sorry about that.
addicted to sports gambling.
That's tough.
But then when you see LeBron James and your idols and Travis Kelce and Barstool, like, is this good for society?
And there's no dude. Nah, it's not. Kids are sports gambling and betting and stuff.
Yeah,
Don't
18-year-old kids
aren't investing money for the future. Like not even thinking about it. It's not even that's not even that's an afterthought, bro. It's
Dude,
crazy.
I've been in that little hole before where I'm like, all right, well, I just did this bet. This could actually make sense. This could happen. I could win $3,000. I'll
Yeah, you
reach up for
start
my
making
credit
plans with
card.
money you don't have.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I lost. Let me go put it in 50 more bucks. I deleted all that shit, dude.
Yeah, it'll
I looked
get
at how
you.
much I spent in 1 month, and I was like, what am I doing?
It'll get you. Yeah,
Yeah,
I have never done that. I've never
don't.
done that. I have an addictive personality. I'll never do that. So I just invest in the companies that do. I mean, the
Yeah.
like that.
No, I think it's a good
You know,
investment. It's not going anywhere. I think it's going to get almost probably out of control.
for sure, for sure, dude. So we hit on the NFL. We hit on sports gambling by DraftKings. Now we can kind of go into baseball, dude.
Let's do it.
There's really not a whole lot going on the baseball front, except Yamamoto's throwing through two
Yeah,
bullpens.
I'm excited about that.
Supposedly, supposedly it's lights out, dude. So, players and teammates were amazed at what this guy was doing on the mound and in the weight room in his limited time out in spring training. Arrived early, obviously. I think pitchers and catchers reported right, but they don't start workouts yet. Maybe until this week. I don't even know. I don't even know. That's
We did that for so long, but I don't even know when we did it.
I think Valentine's Day was probably like right around when like mini
Weird.
camp started, dude. But
We were always
so
there early.
yeah, had to be. The 25-year-old signed a 12-year, $325 million banger, which is the most ever guaranteed to a pitcher. He'll have to adjust, obviously, to all of the noise, all of the media attention he's going to be sharing the locker room with the fucking biggest name in baseball, Shohei Ohtani, right? He's going to be in there, dude. He's going to have to adjust to the noise, the attention, the competition. It's different skill, right? Like major league hitters are the best hitters in the world.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not coming over from a slapdick organization, right? The Oryx Buffaloes are a storied program, dude. But a new ball, it's a different ball than over there, dude, and shorter rest. So, in Major League Baseball, you're going to be a five-man rotation, so you're going to pitch every fifth day or every sixth day, right? Over
Yeah.
there, it's once a week. So that's shorter rest. That's a day or two shorter rest. Dude's young, 25 years old, might not be a whole like crazy amount of difference, but dude, those are a lot of factors to factor into like having success in the AL West. Uh, dude, NL West,
Yeah.
right?
You
NL
know,
West, dude. To factor all that in and have success there, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know if I have him necessarily having a good year. I thought, dude, I said it earlier on one of the shows, but dude, I think he's gonna struggle. I think everybody's looking for this dude to have a breakout fucking year, and there's so many things that are just like variable that could just
yeah.
factor into
No.
it. I think, dude, I think you get up there and pucker up a little bit, dude. That's what I think, dude. I mean, you know way more about pitching than me, dude. What do you think?
I mean, to play devil's advocate here, I think he's going to dominate.
Yeah,
I really do. I think. So you said that kind of drown out the noise, and like I don't know how to say. I hope this isn't offensive anyway, but he doesn't speak English. Like he doesn't. He's not going to be getting. Like he doesn't read it. He doesn't. He listen to. I mean, maybe he can make out some words. He'll learn a little bit, but like that might be an advantage for him. People yelling at him, people talking shit in the media and stuff. Like he's probably not. He doesn't care. And I think what's going for him and Otani is that they're friends. They've played together in the past. They are Japanese natives that speak Japanese. They're going to be locker buddies. They're going to be dinner buddies. They're going to be going out with their translators. Like they have like a partner in crime. I think his stuff
yeah,
is so good. I think he's so young. People were kind of like not making fun of him, but just like really interested. But there's a really good video. It's like 8 minutes long on Dodger Nation on his bullpen. It shows a couple little clips of him and then a clip of him doing that javelin thing. It's a javelin, but looks like one of those like,
this guy's throwing a dress, so he's incorporating that into his throwing routine. So
yeah,
people like Otani are seeing his bullpen, seeing his workout routine, and they're like, bro, I want to incorporate throwing javelins into my throwing routine.
if you saw it though, it's like this, I don't know, it's like 2 foot long. It looks like you made it like in high school and you would like throw it. And he was like kind of like right here and he got like in his little stance and goes, yeet. Yeah, just like throws it up in the air and it comes back down. But I read something that he doesn't lift. He doesn't work out. He doesn't want to have a bunch of muscle. And yeah,
Ooh, contradicting reports. Who's lying?
I don't know.
Who's
That was on
lying?
Dodger Nation. I mean, and then Gavin Lux said he looked like just nasty and gross. And I think if he commands those pitches he has, and I guess his 94, 95 looks like it's 99 to 100. His splitter's like 92. I mean, he's got really good stuff. He's not that tall. I don't think he's going to have, but I guess that doesn't really matter anymore. I think
Yeah,
he's going to do well. And I think if he leans on the experience from Otani, who's the best player in the world, has that sense of like home. Like there's videos of him walking around spring training right now, just like high-fiving fans. And he's just like happy to be here. And I love that. I think that's really cool.
that could be big. That could be big. I like that, dude. Um, okay. So on the mound, Yamamoto has drawn a massive crowd at each of his first two bullpen sessions. On Friday, Yamamoto threw his first bullpen session of the spring, which was described as gross, like you said, by Lux. On Sunday, Otani, general manager Brandon Gomes, and manager Dave Roberts were among the group of a few dozen people who watched. Otani came away visibly impressed with just about every pitch. So he's lights out right now. And I mean, I guess he's setting the bar high, dude. So there's some contradicting reports. Like I said, man, I think that might be a little shock to a dude coming over here. It's going to be interesting to see, dude. Like you said, having Otani in that locker room is going to be hot.
If he can start off, I do think he's either going to suck really bad at first, or he's going to start off really, really hot. And then it's like,
Fizzle like Colorado football.
yeah, anyone can do that. Anyone can start out, but if he sticks to the path and whatever, awesome. But if he has like those little moments where he dips down, maybe he's up 7 in 2 innings against the Diamondbacks or something, how's he going to bounce back? He's 25 years old, far away from home, far away from his comforts. But if he can just get back up there and be like, screw that, I'm getting back to the same things that got me to a $325 million contract. But if he starts digging himself a hole, I mean, I did this, you probably did
Yeah.
this. A lot of pressure on him. But if he can kind of tune that out, like I said, I think the language barrier, it could be beneficial to him.
I didn't look at it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
might
if I was
be.
over,
Mm,
I mean, they're just like the things that are popular in Japanese culture are not popular here, and vice versa. He's probably like, I don't care about Instagram and all this shit that we think is like means something here.
yeah,
He's probably like, I just want to play baseball.
I love that. I kind of do love that. So there are a couple remaining free agents, bro. As we head into, like I said, as we head into the start of spring training, there are dudes that are still not signed that are fucking dudes that had pretty solid years last year. I'm not saying they're all stars, right? But they got the like ex batting champions, ex all stars, dude.
Yeah,
So
big
Blake
names.
Snell, Jordan Montgomery, Cody Bellinger, and Matt Chapman are still like on the table, dude. They don't have deals in place. They don't have hopes for spring training, and that's crazy. Like, dude, rolling into it right now. If not having a home would fucking freak me out, bro. I don't know how that would make you feel, but I know for me that would have my tensions high, bro.
I'd hate it. I mean, I think the problem, it's good and bad. We've seen these massive contracts, right? Guaranteed to young players, older players, whatever. But it's kind of tampered with the market a little bit. And these guys that have had good years, Blake Snell, but we talked about this where he's not throwing over like 180 innings or something
Yeah,
in like a season. That's all going against him, and he probably wants $200 million, $300 million. Where these organizations are like, no. And Matt Chapman was the best third baseman in the league for I don't know how many years, and then he kind of fell off a little bit.
yeah, he was a dude.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger, same way, was a dude, and I guess the Cubs, he'll probably resign with the Cubs.
Bro,
But
he had a fucking year last year. So I was like 307. He was
yeah,
2020. Big like comeback player of the year. I'm for sure guessing he's going back with the Cubs, dude.
I would guess. And there's
Has
also
to.
the development in these minor league systems has gotten better and better and better. And when you are these organizations, I mean, it's a business. They're trying to make money. Like, do you have a guy that maybe could produce at a Cody Bellinger level? I don't know. but maybe they have someone that's close, maybe someone internal you pay
They
half the
do.
money to.
So, like Pete Crow Armstrong is a fucking dude out in the Cubs outfield. So it would be, I mean, it would be beneficial, I'm sure, maybe to have a dude like Bellinger, uh, you know, left-handed banger that could
Yeah,
you'd probably show him the ropes, right, a little bit more. Spent some time with him last year. So that's big, dude. That's big. That's a big name.
I think all
Um,
those decision making it goes in that process, like money, locker room guy, good
Definitely,
teammate.
dude. So there are some like Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson's a free agent.
Yeah, people hate him.
That's that's an ex batting champion, right? That's a shortstop that is, was dealing with injuries last year. But is that a dude that you want in your locker room? This guy's throwing fists, getting knocked out cold on the
Yeah,
field.
he can play.
He can play, dude. He can play. But is that worth maybe bringing in for a
I
year
think
if you're trying to make a run?
I mean, I think this translates a little bit, but we have an open position for kind of like a partner in my work right now. And I asked my boss the other day, does my opinion of this person like impact your like overall opinion on like hiring someone? And he looked at me straight and he was like, no. And I was like, wait, what? But he had a really good point. He's like, my job is to find someone that's going to be in here, that's going to sell, that's going to grow the number, that's going to ultimately drive us home to victory. And he's like, I'm sorry, but like, yeah, camaraderie, being a team is important. But if that guy goes out or that girl goes out and crushes it and just saturates the market and sells a ton, we're all going to benefit from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So same thing with the Tim
That
Anderson.
results.
If he goes and wins, like maybe you don't go out for a beer after the game with them, but the dude can play baseball.
Whit Merrifield's still outstanding. Dude can
Yeah, you
play.
like him, right?
I love Whit Merrifield. Ugh. Love Whit Merrifield. Love Whit. Played against them. Can say it. Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham is still outstanding. So Tommy Pham was at the Super Bowl last night. Took a picture on Instagram at the Super Bowl. Took a picture of the field from his seats. And then at halftime, he left. And I guess he came back because he was watching the game from his couch. He was watching the remainder of the game from his couch. So he went for a half and went home.
So is he a Vegas native?
Yeah, he just went home. That's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Well, the seats look sick, so I don't even want to speculate on the amount of money that was dropped. Maybe just to see like Ursher and watch one half, right? And Luda, but
Did
like,
you see Usher almost fall down?
nah, dude, I didn't want. I'll be honest with you, I didn't watch 1 second of it. I was playing Call of Duty.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things about Tommy Pham, from a teammate guy and veteran presence, and
It's an elite move. It is a pretty badass move. Like to
Do
be
you think
there
that was
for a
like
half.
on purpose? Like, hey, let me just go flex on.
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think
when you're
that
that
he would do
level,
that.
yeah,
Nah,
when you're that
I
level,
think that's why it's elite.
yeah.
I think that's why it's elite. It's like, hey, you know what? Screw the Super Bowl, bro. I don't have to be there.
Dude, speaking of not elite, I don't know if you're ready for this, but the Waste Management Open is disgusting.
Yeah. Been reading about it.
Did you look at a little bit of that? It's
So,
really gross.
yeah. So this is the biggest. I mean, at least for us, with spring training starting, being a baseball player, you go out there in Arizona and Scottsdale, and this is like big. This is big. I've never been, but I always heard that that's the
I
place
never
you wanna
went,
be.
dude.
Nope.
I didn't want to get
Probably
in trouble.
better. Probably
Honestly.
better for us. It's probably
Yeah.
better. And so, you can expect 200,000 people in a weekend, and you go there, you get banged up. And the 16th hole, like the par three, everybody talks about it. Like there's a huge crowd, fishbowl of fans around there, and it's a good time, dude. But I guess there was a whole bunch of rain right throughout the
Yeah.
week, flooding and shit. So the course and the conditions were kind of dumpy. And so the regular standing places for these fans and these spectators were moved. So it was crowding kind of like the traffic and the flow of traffic throughout this whole weekend. The Phoenix Open, right? Waste Management, Phoenix
Yeah.
Open. Yeah. Dubbed the greatest show on grass. TPC Scottsdale Stadium, right? So the conditions were
Golf
bad.
there.
Yeah, the conditions were bad, dude. And like the fans are just getting chirpy, so they're chirping the players, the golfers, right?
Did you
They're
see that?
cutting down on beer, right? So
Yeah.
they like axed liquor and beer and alcohol sales on Saturday, and then they stopped like taking people in at 2 p.m. Right? So people are buying hundreds of dollars worth of fucking tickets. They just said, "Yo, you can't come in." Right? So there's a whole shit show. People are drunk, blacked out, just doing, just
Yeah,
I mean,
sliding down hills,
awesome stuff.
shirtless.
But like, yeah, it's tough. It would tough maybe to be a golfer in that environment, dude. Does that sound like something that would attract you? Is that something that you may say, I'll be there next year?
So it used to be like even golfers were like, yeah, it's a little crazy, but it's kind of good for the sport. It used to always be wild, but not like this. I mean, there's a video of a guy golfing in his backswing. These fans are talking shit to him and yelling, and Billy Horschel ran up to the fans and he's like, "This is our fucking job.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
yeah, like
That's bad. That's
chill
not. That
out."
doesn't sound. Nah, it doesn't
Yeah, and all
sound
the fans are
lit.
like, probably some 20-year-old frat kid that's hammered off his ass on his dad's credit card, yelling at some of the best golfers in the world. Like, I think one of the things I respect about golf is that there's this level of like respect around the game and kind of classiness and everything that goes into it. And sure, for one weekend of the year, let's have a little bit of a raucous fun time, but it's gotten out of control. People puking and pissing their pants, and girls dressed to the nines and
Yeah,
blacked out, and it's not for me.
it's not an
I don't want to.
elite event. It's a
No,
little trashy, right? That sounded a little trashy this weekend. So
that
like
sounds
reading,
gross.
dude, seeing some of the videos of dudes just like falling, and I mean, people are, it's nuts. Would probably be a fun time in college, but if I'm spending like my hard-earned money and I'm expecting to see good golf, I'm expecting to see a
Yeah,
whole bunch of stuff like that's bad news, right?
I like golf. I'd like to go dress up and watch some of the best golfers in the world hit these amazing shots and be like, "Wow, that was special."
Yeah,
I don't want some drunk girl puking on my shoes.
my jorts,
Yeah,
cowboy boots. Yeah, dude, I know my jorts, dude. Well, that's all I got, bro. That's all we got. Got anything else you want to throw in there? We just got a little shorty today hitting on shit that's happened.
no, I think that was a good little recap of the weekend and all the happenings and hot goss out there.
That's right. That's right. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this, David. Thank you for your time, brother. Thank you for showing up. We will catch you guys again next time. Uh, uh.